The Oxford Club's chief investment strategist, Alexander Green, wants to show us how a small $7,000 portfolio of just 7 stocks could make us millionaires in less than 6 years' time. He calls them the next Magnificent Seven, and they will dominate the AI era. We reveal all of them right here for free in this video. Now, the idea of identifying a great stock early can be life-changing. Look no further than the original Magnificent Seven of Google, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Meta, and even Tesla. As Alex explains, just a $1,000 investment in each of these names 20 years ago would be worth more than 1.1 million today. These 7 stocks alone have outperformed the general market 46 to 1 since 2004, rather, I should say. So no wonder they're called magnificent. But identifying such stocks is a lot easier said than done. So Alex has 5 golden metrics that he says can be used to identify the next Magnificent Seven stocks. Now, these golden metrics are scattered throughout Alex's teaser. So, for the sake of time and convenience, we condense them over on Stock Exposer into a nice package. And look, Alex admirably says he's not perfect at picking stocks, but in looking back at the stocks that did perform well for him, all of them had the following 5 characteristics. And it starts with being a leader in cutting-edge tech, just like an Apple, Netflix, and an Nvidia. Solid or breakthrough products are another metric, as is technology protected by patents, trademarks, and brand names. Each of Alex's past successes has had at least massive sales growth and the potential for dozens of blockbuster launches and announcements that can potentially drive the stock higher. Now, he says these next Magnificent Seven stocks are no exception. And of course, since AI could end up generating more millionaires than any innovation in history, 7,000 spread throughout or spread among these picks could help make us millionaires as well. So what are these next Magnificent Seven stock picks? Now, fortunately, Alex doesn't reveal any of them in his teaser. Instead, it is all a pitch for a special report, and that is the next Magnificent Seven, how these 7 AI stocks could make you a millionaire. And the only way to get our hands on this report is by subscribing to the Oxford Communique monthly newsletter. And this costs $59 upfront for the first year, and it comes with a host of features. From a 365-day money-back guarantee to 12 monthly issues containing Alex's favorite investments in the market, as well as 2 additional special reports and inside emails from the Oxford Club's global network of associates, which sounds a lot to me like it could be just spam. But it is disclosed spam, so it may make it better. I don't know. But what I do know is that we were able to reveal all of Alex's next Magnificent Seven picks for free, starting with an AI CPU developer that he says could be the next trillion-dollar company. Now, the clues that we got about this one was that the company has its advanced CPU technology in over 280 billion chips, and everything from sensors to smartphones to servers, and it only IPO'd in 2023, which was critical. It narrowed it down, and we were able to find his exact pick, which is ARM Holdings. That's ARM on the NASDAQ. Now, ARM, it licenses its processes to design and its processor designs to chip makers who then manufacture and sell these chips based on those designs. And it's in exactly more than 280 billion chips that have been manufactured using its architecture. ARM also only IPO'd this past September. So that is the pick, and we can move on to the next. but not before I show you where the 280 billion figure originated from. And it's right here. Since ARM's founding, over 280 billion chips have been manufactured with its architecture. All right, so next up, we have a company that Alex says is reinventing the internet with AI. It owns an array of more than 300 data centers located in cities across the world. And that one clue was enough to reveal it. It is Cloudflare, net on the NYSE. Cloudflare, of course, has a global network of over 300 data centers in cities all across the world. It also has millions of customers, and approximately 30% of the Fortune 1000 companies, which was another clue up above. All right, what is next up? Well, it's the most exciting and predictable way to invest in AI at the same time. Alex says this company was founded in 1984, based in the Netherlands, so it's not exactly a household name, and it specializes in something called photolithography systems, which is a very specific clue. Now, fortunately, it led us directly to his next pick, which is ASML Holding, ASML on the NASDAQ. The company was founded in 84 as a JV in the Netherlands, and it specializes in developing and manufacturing this very specific type of photolithography machine, which are used to produce semiconductor chips. And moving on to the next, this is biotech being used or using AI to cure disease at the cellular level. This fourth pick has 1,750 patents protecting its tech, and the company's products are used by all of the top 100 global research institutions. This was a bit harder to weed out, but it is 10 times genomics. That's TXG on the NASDAQ. How can we be so sure? Well, 10 times has more than 1,750 patents and patent applications to its name, and its customer base includes researchers all across the world, including all of the top 100 global research institutions like Harvard, MIT, Stanford, you name it. As for Alex's fifth pick, it's AI robots, which we were going to come upon sooner or later. But this is a very specific type of robot, one that is being used to transform supply chains all across the US, as these robots can navigate giant distribution centers, stock and retrieve goods at a fraction of the time compared to existing tech. Now, this is actually a business that I am already familiar with, and it is Symbotic, and that's SYM on the NASDAQ. And the reason I know about this company already is because it has long-time deals in place with the likes of Walmart, Target, and Albertsons, which made headlines, and it specializes in building and operating automated warehouse systems using AI. So moving on to the next company, which Alex believes is protecting us from the dangers of AI. And it's doing this with a technology that authenticates and verifies authorized enterprise users. So in other words, it provides cybersecurity for big businesses and financial institutions. Now, some online have already revealed this pick in various places, and it is CyberArk Software, CYBR, on the NASDAQ. Now, CyberArk specializes in identity management for corporate clients, and although it keeps its client list under tight wraps, as I wasn't able to confirm many of the names that Alex cites, I was able to find UBS and some others on a third-party site. And finally, Alex's number one stock going into this year. So last but not least, this company operates in a new technology that was just invented over a decade ago called gene editing. Now, it's the first company in this field to win full approval for a new gene editing drug that expects to have 20 different treatments available over the next 5 years. This one was pretty obvious given the last clue, and it is CRISPR Therapeutics, CRSP, on the NASDAQ. And CRISPR is indeed the one, along with its partner, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, to be the first to win FDA approval for a gene editing drug. So, can these picks make us millionaires in the next 6 years? We don't have a crystal ball, but here is how each of these picks stacks up today. Now, ARM, it is, by all accounts, overvalued at over 400 times earnings. Waiting for a better entry point would be prudent. Cloudflare is a name I'm just not very fond of, it dilutes via stock options, and as far as I can tell, it has no durable competitive advantage over other cybersecurity providers. As for ASML, it's a different story. It's as close to a monopoly as one will find in the market today, and its recent pullback means now could be an ideal time to buy. 10 Time Genomics, it is growing revenue by a modest, by tech company standards, 20% annually, but operating losses are growing by even more, which again is not a good sign for a software or SaaS business. As for Symbotic, the company is expected to break even next year, according to some analysts, but what do they know? And it could make this an opportune time to pick up shares if indeed it is close to being in the black. CyberArk, it is an entrenched incumbent in cybersecurity, as it is serving a multitude of financial institutions and Fortune 500 companies, but apart from its first mover advantage, it doesn't have any competitive advantage that I can see over the long term. And finally, for Alex's number one pick, CRISPR, the stock hasn't moved much over the past years, of course, because has been in clinical trials, but this could change now that it's won FDA approval for its first treatment. All right, so just a quick recap and conclusion of everything we just went over before we go, and that is that the Oxford Club's chief investment strategist, Alex Green, teased a small $7,000 portfolio of 7 stocks that could make us millionaires in less than 6 years' time. He calls these the next Magnificent Seven, and he believes they will dominate the AI era because they possess 5 golden matrix, which we covered in this review. Now, all the details on these next Magnificent Seven stocks have been included only in a special report called The Next Magnificent Seven, How These 7 AI Stocks Could Make You a Millionaire. It's available only to subscribers of the Oxford Communique newsletter for $59 upfront for the first year. Unfortunately, for everyone watching, we were able to reveal all of Alex's picks right here for free as ARM, Holdings, Cloudflare, ASML, 10x Genomics, Symbotic, CyberArk Software, and finally CRISPR Therapeutics. And based on what we know today, ARM, price aside, ASML, Symbotic, and CRISPR are the 4 of the 7 that stand out among Alex's picks. So if you got any insight or value out of this, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and let us know in the comments which Magnificent 7 stock you believe has the most upside potential. Until next time.